Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 87 of Europa Universalis IV as France. There's not an awful lot going on at the moment. There's a few wars going on in the HRE, which is quite nice. Looks mainly like it's the Commonwealth and Brandenburg. What side is Brandenburg on actually? Let's just have a quick look over here, see what's going on. So Brandenburg is the defender against the Commonwealth. I don't really know whose side I want to take here. Do I want to be on the Commonwealth side or do I want to be on Brandenburg's side? Because very often these guys fight each other and I have to pick sides. Even though the Commonwealth is actually quite large, they do seem to be quite weak. I mean, they've got a lot of enemies. They're having some major problems with Russia. They're having some major problems with Austria. I mean, Austria normally ends like here, along this line. So all of this area is pretty much what they've taken from either the Ottomans or the Commonwealth. Natives losing ferocity, gaining army tradition, we get a new mission. You want military access, that's fine. Achieve religious unity. We're not too far off that, are we? We're doing one religious conversion. What do we get for it? Yeah, let's go for that. Because I think our religious unity is almost there. Yeah, it's 98%. There's only one province that isn't. And it is currently 86% of the way through. So we'll definitely be able to do religious unity. Can we do another culture? Well, we can do another culture conversion. The question is, do we want to do another culture conversion? Some of them are quite slow. But it might be nice if we could convert some of the cultures over. Where would be a good place? We'll do a couple. It's always worth converting cultures over because they, when you have a non-accepted culture, if we find somewhere that has a non-accepted culture as an example, like here, this is Austrian culture, okay? So we get +2 local unrest because the culture isn't accepted. We get -1/3 to the local tax modifier. We get -2% local missionary strength and -1/3 to the local manpower. So even if you ignore the unrest and you ignore the conversion, the point of it is we lose 1/3 of our manpower and 1/3 of our tax from that province. Now, Tyrol has a tax base of 8. Salzburg has a tax base of 11. You know, so we're essentially losing 4 gold per month because of this non-accepted culture. Also, their manpower, which used to be around here somewhere, their manpower is currently 0. Mostly because of local autonomy, but also because of that non-accepted culture and the unlawful territory. That will go away eventually. So that's if you've got a non-accepted culture. Now, some cultures are accepted, but they're not our own culture. They're tolerated cultures. Like, for example, if we go down the list, the ones that are red are the non-accepted cultures. All of the green ones are cultures that we view as being our own, because France is always quite cosmopolitan, so we've got a lot of accepted cultures, and if you own enough provinces that are of one culture, it becomes an accepted culture. But you do find sometimes you get a couple of cultures that are yellow, which are part of the same culture group, but not the accepted culture. They still give you a penalty, but I don't think the penalty is quite as harsh. But we can't really do anything about those at the moment, so we're still waiting for the rest of our fleet to build up. Or do we have it? In fact, we have it. So you are going to protect trade in Genoa. You can go and join that trade node there. So, we're still well below our force limit. In fact, we can still have another 150 ships. So what I'm going to do is build another 20 and take the Lubeck one up to 100. So we need a template for 20s now. So let's go and create, shift and click. And we'll call this one 20 lights. I guess that makes sense. It'd be nice if you could just do this one off without having, and we'll add all 20 provinces because I think we've got them. It would be nice if you could do this without having to, just for one-offs, for example. Why won't it let me do that? Do I not have enough money or something? Why was it showing yellow? That's unusual. Okay. CBs. Yeah, not too sure why that was showing yellow. I don't know, maybe we didn't quite have enough provinces for it. Oh well, the point is they will all still get built. And we've achieved religious unity. So yeah, what I was basically saying is it would be nice if I could just turn around and go, right, I want to build 20 lights, and just basically go lights 20 and click, as opposed to having to create a template, just if I'm going to do it as a one-off. I'm not interested in doing either of these missions, so I'm just going to basically keep doing these for Army Tradition. But if Army Tradition still isn't capped, so it's worth keeping it up there. Let's go ahead and look at that again. This is in Hessen. We'll go ahead and take that. Hessen is somewhere in Europe. That's about as good as my geography gets. There you are. You are going to get yourself a star fort. There are still a fair unique buildings that we could have. We have the money to do it. This might be a good idea, actually, to build some of the unique buildings. And the reason I say that is because we have a lot of money, but we don't want to burn through all of our admin points. So we could have a glorious monument, which would give us more yearly prestige. Let's go ahead and get one of those in Ile-de-France. We don't really need to build a march. I mean, we could do. We could certainly build one somewhere on the front if we're going to be using it to attack people. The march does give you increased manpower, but when you've got a massive negative modifier to it, it makes it kind of pointless. We could probably do it in Trent, actually. What's things like in Trent? It's still Austrian, but we do have some manpower here. So we could possibly go and drop a march in Trent. And then that would give us more attrition for enemies, more local defensiveness. It is the mountains as well, so it's a very good place to hide in. Or we could go with Tyrol. I think I'm going to put the march in Tyrol, because Tyrol's where the gold mine is, and it'd be really nice to have that additional local defensiveness and additional attrition for enemies, and it's in the mountains, so that makes it a brilliant place. And as the Papal State, we're not going to be able to get rid of too easily, because a march always has to be next to a march always has to be adjacent to a border. So as long as we have a border, and Trent, well, Tyrol's not actually bordered by the Papal State, but it is bordered by Austria on a couple of different sides and Bavaria on the other, so we're good there. We can have a grain depot, which gives us a land force limit modifier of 10%, and it reduces our maintenance modifier by 10. So, yes, please. Now, you have to have it somewhere where you have grain, but we can go ahead and drop it there in the moor. And we can have a Fine Arts Academy, which reduces our stability cost. We've got the money. Let's go ahead and drop that in. The only thing we don't have is the tax assessor, because we don't have the technology for that yet. But that's spent a lot of our money. But I'm not too bothered, because I think we're doing quite well as far as cash goes. We're a colony short, I've just noticed. I hadn't even noticed that we had a colony that had become self-sustaining. Yeah, Castile are now going to try and colonize that one, which is a real pain. We are going to go and have to try and stamp on Castile at some point. I mean, they can't really grow much more in this direction, which is good. Who are these guys? That's not helping. Who are you? You are California. Right, that doesn't help because it's not telling me who you belong to. That's Castile. Is a colony of Castile. You are a colony of Holland. Wow, Holland have really spread out over here, haven't they? So this is all Holland. And this is all Castile. And that's the Shoshone. I guess we could come over here and try and block Holland. That's not a bad idea, actually. You are working on that. I don't suppose you can actually get over here, can you? Not easily. No. So what we're going to do, we'll move you down there. I'll probably end up disbanding you. Do I have anywhere over here where I could create a unit? No, not easily. Do I have any units over here? No, not really. That's a bit of a pain. What I was hoping I could do was go ahead and just drop in a colony over here somewhere just to block Holland from spreading in that direction. How close is this colony to being finished? Almost. Very, very close. This is risky, but I'm going to move this guy out and hope that the colony doesn't get destroyed. There isn't an awful lot that I can really do in some of these places. But we've got to move out of there and hope that it manages to survive. So, let's go back over here. Army has arrived. So, we are going to disband you, unfortunately. Simply because I can't really get you anywhere. We've got a couple of provinces here that are stuck. We could actually go to war here with the Apache, but we don't really have many units in place. Nice that French Columbia is getting a few boats, but their nation is kind of split at the moment. Still, we'll be able to do some nasty damage to Castile when that happens. I suppose that means their colony's popped up yet. Obviously, I can't declare war on them, so I can have all the CBs in the world, but when you're in a Regency Council, you can't declare war on anybody, which is a real pain in the neck. So we've got 14 of those ships. Some of them are still arriving. Wow, just randomly lose 32k manpower. That's not cool. What's going on over here? Oh, wow. Norwegian Mexico is being taken over by the Aztecs. That's not too bad, because I don't really want to have to go to war with Norway. However, I wouldn't really mind going to war with the Aztecs. Although, are they protectorized by somebody? Why are they suddenly getting involved? They're allied with Great Britain. And I suppose Great Britain is the one attacking Norway, are they? Yeah. So Great Britain is doing a lot of attacking, considering I thought Great Britain were fairly weak after I smacked them around quite a lot. And they're now basically moving into Norway. So that's quite interesting, but it does mean next time we go to war with Great Britain, we'll also be going to war with the Aztecs, which means that our colonies over here can then attack some of the Aztec land. And that could be really, really good, because that means if the Aztecs take some of this land away from Norwegian Mexico, we'll be able to grab that for our own. Okay, so we have a self-sustaining colony. We have two self-sustaining colonies, so that's this one. And this one over here. So I'm going to go ahead and disband you because you're kind of stuck there and you can't really go anywhere. So we are going to... we can't do it. Of course we can because it's not coastal. Well, I'm such a moron. So I can't really block those guys off, which is a real pain. So I guess all we can really do is just start colonizing a few internal places. I would like to get another couple of men over here, actually, and I think I'm sorry that I disbanded those men. I think I might get a couple of transports, and I might take a couple of units over there just so we can keep our colonies going. In fact, that is what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and go back over to Normandy. I'm going to grab my mothballed fleet here. I am going to split off two of the transports. I'm going to select this unit and unmothball them. And in Normandy, I am going to... Actually, let's remember what buttons we're clicking here. Let's go ahead and get a couple of infantry. We're actually quite below our force limit right now, so we could go and build another one of our sort of 20 stacks, which we may well do. We do have 20 more ships. Those 20 more ships... wow. So we can gain 10 legitimacy. And we'd get a load of local unrest everywhere. Or Grand Captain leaves our court. Well, let him go. So now we pick ourselves... we're ahead of time. Let's just go for the rank 2 for now and save a little bit of money. Not that we need to do that. So, you guys, you're going to fix up. We're building... We've got the fleet of... 20. You're going to go and join the Lubeck trade node. So off you go to Lubeck. That'll be 100 ships in Lubeck. So while we've got bags of money, let's go ahead and grab ourselves another 20 lights. There's another 5 army tradition, which is all very, very good. You're going to join up in there. So we also decided that we've got the room... Yeah, so we can go ahead and build another sort of 20 guys. You can go and all merge up in Bering. Another mission here. Okay, colonize Sitka. Where is that? Yeah, can't really get to that all that easily. I mean, we could, I suppose. We could send some ships out over here and try and colonize in that direction, but I'm not really interested in doing that. So I'm going to pick one of these random missions, and then I'm going to instantly cancel it. It'll mean we'll have to wait a year before we can pick another one, but I'm just hoping we're going to get some better missions, because I think the ones that we've got at the moment are a little bit crap. Alliance offer from Ojibwe. No. Don't really need that. Let's have a look and see if we can do anything else down here, because we're very, very close to getting all the trade power that we need down here. Is there anything else we can build that would increase our trade? We've got road networks, we've got post offices, we've got customs houses here as well, do we? Wow, and we still can't get any more trade power. Does anything here give us any additional trade at all? I doubt it. Production efficiency, goods produced, inflation reduction. There were a few things that used to give you a little bit of extra trade, but not many. Not too sure. We haven't got a royal palace anywhere. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and drop one of those. Of course, that has to be in Ile-de-France. What about manufacturers? Because we could put trading company. Well, trading company doesn't give us extra trade, though. It's just goods produced, which is a bit of a pain. We were so close to getting 50% down there. We can take another military tech. I don't really want to at this point, because what I'd sooner do is unlock my next idea group. Truce with Milan has ended. Now, when do we get our next idea group? It is going to be at 26. So when we get our next admin group, we'll be able to grab... when we get our next admin tech, we'll be able to grab our next idea group. If we reach cap, or get close to our cap on military, we will just go ahead and hire another leader. Holland can't... Right, we are going to have to go to war with Holland at some point. Royal marriage with the Commonwealth has ended. Commonwealth are getting slapped around pretty hard, but we'll go ahead and redo the royal marriage. Try and keep everybody happy where we can. That little army is forming up in Berry. Right, we've got these two guys here. You are going to group up and you're going to get on the transport. And if we grab the transports, you guys are going to go and drop off over here somewhere in Nouvelle-Flandre. And then we'll have a couple of guys over there that can actually go and do something useful. Okay, back over here. Still a few wars going on. None of which that I'm really a part of. We are still building some more light ships. They'll be done very, very soon. It's not going too bad. I'm quite happy with things as they are. I could have actually afforded my next admin tech if I hadn't have spent so many admin points in building some of the buildings. If you remember, we did spend a couple of hundred admin points buying a lot of the courthouses and the spy agencies, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it's definitely not a bad thing, but we should really wait until we're ahead of time, which we will do next. We'll get there quite quickly. So we've got 100% religious unity. Our national unrest is currently at what now? Minus 3.06, which is really good. We've got no chance of rebellions everywhere. I'm not going to spend the points boosting up the stability. There's very, very little point in doing that right now. There's another general that has died. What is our current tradition? 98. If there's ever a time to get a new leader, it's going to be now. We've already got a 3-star general there who's a 6652. Let's see if we can get another one here. Don't think we're going to need any more conquistadors, so let's grab another one. We've got a 4641. He's not bad. We can have one more leader without upkeep. Now, why can we have... Oh, we can have 4. Base value of 1. We've got the Normandy Admiralty, so we get +1. And we've got the War College, so we can get +1. Now, we can get a 4th one because we have at least 25 power projection. But it's actually at 25, and it's going to be dropping by 1 per year, probably. So we may not have that option for a 4th guy, but we definitely will have an option for a 3rd guy. So let's go ahead and grab a 3rd guy. Maybe in Tyrol, that's a good place to be. Let's grab a number 3. And this one is a 3341. That's actually pretty bad. Let's see if we can grab another one here. And you're a 6363. You're much, much better. So let's go and get rid of the guy who isn't all that good. He's surprisingly bad. So we've got one guy with 5 maneuver. We've got one guy with 6 maneuver. We've also got a guy with 3 siege. So we've got some really, really good leaders there. Did burn through a little bit of our military power, but not too much at all. We are... How far away are we? Of how the date's actually going up. Well, it can't work out. We expect to have enough power to be able to do it by September 26th. So we're looking at around about a year for that to happen. French Louisiana has declared war on the Shawnee. So there you go. Our colonial nation has declared war on one of its neighbours with a Conquest CB, which is fine. But in the new expansion, I'll be able to tell them to do that. It's not a war that I'm involved in. I haven't been called into the war. But it will be nice when I'm able to tell them to do that myself. Because it means I can force them to expand a little bit more quickly without having to declare wars personally. So that fleet has now arrived. You are going... I think we'll actually just start throwing all these ones at Genoa first. Let's get Genoa up to the... let's try and get Genoa up to the full 100 if we can. So we need to go ahead and build another 20 over here. So what are we getting from trade now? We're getting 110.86. It's not a massive amount of money, but we're doing okay. Trade efficiency plus 10% or gain 1,000 gold. Let's go for the trade efficiency. And also, what we could potentially do is, can we get anyone over here to transfer trade power to us? I mean, I doubt Portugal would. Economy actions. You would actually transfer trade power. How much? You'd transfer 43% of your trade power, would you? You are transferring trade power. How interesting. So what does that give us over here then in terms of trade? 55%. Brilliant. So this is now, or should be, a valid trading company. Yeah, remove province from control of your trading company. So we should actually be getting something from this now because it is technically a trade company. So tax income efficiency 15%, local autonomy minus 75, belongs to trade company. Yeah, the yearly tax income from this province, it will generate a monthly income of 0.05. It's hardly worth it. I need to do a little bit more research on the trade companies and figure out sort of exactly how they are supposed to work. But you need more than 50% of the trade, I believe, which we now have. So you're one of my subjects. You are this one, aren't you? It's not yet strong enough to claim to be one of the dominating trade powers. You must have at least 51% of the province trade power. Ah, it's got to be province trade power. So I think it doesn't count if people are transferring trade power to you. So even though I have 55% of the total trade power in the node, I only have 45.3% of the province trade power in the node. Which is a little bit of a shame. Because if I was able to grab just one more province in this trade node, I'd be able to do it. And that would give me an extra merchant. Which I don't think we really need. I'm just messing around with that, really. Just to sort of see what we can do. Okay, we can get another mission now. Improve defences in Salzburg. That's definitely something that we want to be doing. So let's go ahead and do that. Can we not improve defences in Salzburg? Is Salzburg already building something? There we go. I suppose also it might well be worth just upgrading the defences in Tyrol and Trent, because they are mountains, and that is going to be my front defensive line against Austria. It also seems that, well, I don't know, Austria's got some of the Commonwealth provinces sieged, and the Commonwealth have got some of Austria's provinces sieged, but whoever's going to win that war, it's hard to tell. Well, it's not hard to tell. If we go ahead and just click over here, click on the war. So that says +4. So who does that mean is winning? Yeah, Brandenburg is winning. So, looks like the Commonwealth are going to be losing out on that war again. We should be getting close to our new technology. In fact, we can. Let's go ahead and... Well, we're still ahead of time, actually. So, I really don't want to grab that just yet. So, we will wait a little while before we do that. Otherwise, we'll be wasting some points. But that's probably a good point to end the video. Once again, I'm sorry that we haven't had an awful lot in terms of action with war. But it's mainly because of that Regency Council. Which is still going to be around for a little while. Because our heir is only 8. But as soon as we can have a king again and we can start declaring wars, that is what we will be doing. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying EU4, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, goodbye for now.